I will start my speech with a Malay poem. Dua tiga kucing berlari, mana nak sama si kucing jantan. Ucapan ringkas dari Sang Puteri. Kepada semua, salam dihulukan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Guten Tag, Namaste and a very good morning. I am Nur Aisha binti Rumidi, AA10082, will give a speech titled Safe Way to Withdraw Money from an ATM Machine. For all of your information, the issue of rob in front of the ATM machine is become increased from day to day. This growing problem cannot be contained. Why this problem cannot be solved until now is that the community does not care with these symptoms occur. ATM usage requires us to be vigilant and do a bit of planning. Just because it is a 24 hours ATM does not mean it is always safe to be used. To avoid this happening, every individual should play their respective roles to avoid themselves from being robbed of their money in the ATM machine. Here, I will describe some of the security measures when you're on the way to the ATM machine, while you at ATM machine, and after completion withdraw money at ATM machine. Okay, first of all, when you want to go to ATM machine, it is better if you get list of your bank ATM locations. From the list, select ATM locations that you think are safe to be used. Try not to make a transaction at an ATM at night. And if you wish to make a transaction at night, bring along one or a few friends to accompany you. When you late on your chosen destination ATM earlier, try to look at the environment and your surrounding in advance and see if there are suspicious people in the vicinity. Preferable while walking towards the ATM card must be available for use. Make sure you have memorized your PIN number to speed up transactions at ATMs and also avoid unauthorized withdrawal. After inserting the card and PIN at an ATM, try to look around you, including behind you. Remember, robbers usually approaching from behind you. Do not accept the offer to help you from the people that you do not know and suspicious during the transaction. Keep it alert. Okay, next, while you at the ATM machine, okay, if there is a suspicious person trying to approaching you, stop the transaction. Stop the transaction and left as soon as possible. Even if you are forced to flee and leave your ATM card at the machine, there may be a need to warn you of suspicious people for not approaching you because of the way will make the robbers, if that true, will panic, and this will give you room to escape safely. Maybe this way will make you ashamed and need to apologize later if the person that you suspect is not a robber. But it's better than being robbed. After you receive the money from the ATM machine, immediately save it, take it and keep your card, then gone from there immediately. Calculate the money you receive only when arriving in a safe place. Lastly, if you make cash withdrawal at an ATM drive-through, setting the same guidelines that I mentioned before should be applied. Make sure there are no hidden places that allow robbers to hide, and make sure there were no suspicious person hanging around the ATM machine. If there is, follow your heart and flee the scene. Make sure your vehicle is always locked the door and your vehicle is in the gear. During the transaction, be careful and look at the side and rear view mirror of your vehicle. Usually, robbers will try approaching from the rear and side driver. If there is anyone who approach you, try to end the transaction and left immediately, even have to leave the card in the ATM. If you have been threatened by armed robbers, just leave your money without question. Loss of cash is not commensurate with the serious injury or possible loss of life. Go to the safe place and call the police immediately. For the conclusion, according to the records, half of the ATM robberies occur when cash withdrawals done. Most of the victims are women who make a transaction at an ATM alone. Most of them also say do not see the presence of the robbers during the incident. Use ATMs in well-lit places and public areas. Just an ATM in a busy shopping complex if possible. Avoid using the ATM near the right area to hide. When approaching an ATM, check out the surroundings before. Be careful and try to avoid places where people like to hang out suspicious. Make sure that your ATM card is available for use. Do not practice counting money out of the machine. In a public place, circulate either run or drive a vehicle when you feel the inkling of insecurity. Be careful and do not accept the offer or help from the people suspicious. Treat to scream if approached by a suspicious person. Do not arguing or fighting during the robbery. Think safely first. Do not fight or follow the robbers. Circulating or drive to a safe place and call the police immediately. Thank you.